about to get started. So we'll probably do the interview. It'll probably be like 25 minutes. Okay, Sophia, let's see your name again.
Yeah.
There you go, there you go. All right. All right, good evening and welcome to the Zoom edition of Showtime TV production. I'm your host, Omar Rashida. I have two awesome distinguished high school graduates. I have Sophia Andrews and Adriel Rahman. Good evening. How are you two both doing?
I'm doing well.
Okay.
Doing excellent.
All right. Okay. And congratulations. Let's just start off if you two can introduce yourselves. Say your name. What school would you go to, and what was your high school senior experience like? Let's start with Adriel.
I'm Adriel Rahman, and I went to Thomas McCain High School. And I have to say, disregarding the last few months, it was a really nice experience.
Yeah, and my name is Sophia Andrews. I'm also 18 years old, and I am actually a homeschool student. And for me, I agree with Adriel regarding the past few months. It was really great. I had a really chill senior year, with a lot of my classes already being like all my prerequisites for college being filled like up until junior year. So my senior year was really lax, and I really enjoyed it. So up until the last few months, I had a really great senior year.
And what were some of your favorite classes for your senior year, Sophia?
Yeah, so I really enjoyed taking an American Sign Language course, which I've been taking throughout high school. So taking my last year of that. Like I mentioned, I'm a homeschool student, and so I took a lot of classes at Wilmington University and was dually enrolled for my senior year. So the course I really enjoyed there was my ancient Greek mythology course, because that was a really great one.
Right. Okay, and Adriel?
My favorite class was my computer engineering and operation class, where we worked side by side with the school fixing computers every day for students and teachers alike.
Okay, so Sophia, let me get back with you. What was it like being homeschooled? Because sometimes it could be a debate where you miss being around your students, other students. You miss field trips. You miss participating in sports. I'm not sure if you were able to do that or not, but what was the experience, being homeschooled?
I've definitely enjoyed it. I've never known anything different because I have been a homeschool student my entire life. But for me, I think it helped me be able to learn in a way that was unique to who I am as a person. And it helped me to be able to form my studies around what I plan on doing after graduation, after college, with what I want to do in life. And I was able to learn at a way that was specific to me and just really tailored to myself. So that was really great. I say there's definitely pros and cons. I think one of the biggest cons to it is everyone's always just like, oh, you're homeschooled, you must do school in your pajamas all day, or you must sleep. And I'm like, no, I totally don't do that at all. I'm like everyone else. I have a schedule. I'm up 6, 7 o'clock in the morning and starting my day early because I want to be productive. So I think it's helped me a lot and has really prepared me for going off to college in the next few months, because I feel like I'm so disciplined, and homeschooling has definitely really, been a large part of that. So I've really enjoyed being homeschooled, and I have been able to socialize with others. I have a good chunk of friends that are homeschooled, a good chunk of friends that aren't homeschooled. Like I said, I take classes outside of home, and I also do courses at a homeschool program that I'm able to take sports classes, theater programs, stuff like that.
So let me ask you, you said you mentioned that you're taking classes at Wilmington University. Well, how are you so blessed to take college classes while you're in high school?
So it's actually a really cool program called dual enrollment, which is, I think, mostly every state has it, but it's where high schoolers can take classes while they're still at college classes while they're still in high school. And I think it's wonderful because I've started to knock out some of my credits that I would be doing in college while I'm in high school. So I did
Wow.
sophomore year of high school and senior
Right.
year of high school. So I've really enjoyed it. I've tried at different places. Wilmington University was this year and Bluefield College was sophomore year. But of the courses I've taken, I really did enjoy them, and just being able to experience different professors, teachers, classmates, things like that.
All right. And Adria, you were the class president. So how did that process take place? Did you have to run against fellow students? Was it a voting, or were you nominated? Were you selected? How did that go about?
Well, we had a school-wide election day, and the funniest thing of all was that I did not have that much time to run my campaign like my other competitors,
Wow.
and they got most of the screen time while I was busy actually going through the hospital at the time. But it was a real surprise to me because I was not expecting to be elected, in all honesty.
Wow. Wow. So you must got a lot of people at your school that liked you. You must have been popular.
Absolutely. I love each and every one of my good friends.
All right. Now you also nominated as valedictorian. How did that come about?
Well, I've been an AP student for the last 3 years, so I'm very well seasoned in trying to do the hardest classes I can. And my teachers helped me get through it all with the best grades I can get.
Right. Now, you two, class of 2020, I mean, you have an experience that no other class, I don't think, ever experienced it in a lifetime. Um, because of COVID-19, classes were cut short. People had to do classes at home, pretty much online. Well, Sophia, you was already doing that anyway. But I want you two to talk about the experience of COVID-19, how that affected you personally. And then also, unfortunately, I don't think you were able to attend your school prom because of COVID-19. So let's start with Sophia. What was the experience like? Well, I mean, you were already kind of doing it anyway since you were homeschooling, but nevertheless, COVID-19 had to affect you in some way, and then not be able to go to school prom.
Yeah, so I did through the homeschool program, like I mentioned, where it's like a private school, but for homeschoolers that we attend 1 to 2 days a week, that I did in addition to dual enrollment. But that was such a great experience because through that I get graduation and I get prom. So now prom's been canceled and graduation's been postponed, but it's looking like graduation will be postponed as well. So it is like very heartbreaking. I'm the kind of person where I don't like to like look at my circumstances and get really like sad about it and just be like, oh my goodness, like oh, like, what am I going to do? Like, so I did have to tell myself, it's okay to be frustrated about it. It's okay to be sad about it because this is your last year of high school and you wanted to have a great summer and make all these memories with your friends before you leave for college in the fall. And you wanted to have senior prom and graduation. And now that's not happening. So just allowing myself to grieve that and just allowing myself to know that it's going to be okay. And that, as a class of 2020, we will get through this. And so I think that, now I'm okay. I've come to terms with it, but it still at the beginning was just really heartbreaking that I wouldn't be able to finish out senior year classes at the institution that I went to. And so we switched over to Zoom classes. The switch for my day-to-day homeschool life wasn't too crazy because I was already at home, like mentioned earlier. So that wasn't too bad. But just in general, I think, that process of switching over to classes at home just was like really sad because I miss seeing my friends, but now I've started to come to terms with it.
Right. Okay, Adriel.
Well, in terms of prom, I've never been really that much of a party person, so it didn't hit me as badly as it hit some of my friends.
Right.
And it wasn't, being school at home was definitely a hard time for me, at least at the beginning. And sadly, for some of my friends, it hit them a bit harder than others because they lost their will to learn at times, sadly. And I just wasn't able to see them much because they no longer had that drive to keep on learning in the classroom and they just didn't log on, sadly.
Right. So let me ask you, so Adriel, when you were at home, were your parents making sure that you was doing your schoolwork? Because when you're at school, you're away from your parents, but when you're home, your parents is like, okay, did you get your homework done? Did you do this? Did you do that? I mean, were they on you, or did they pretty much know? Well, you're already an honor student, so they probably just say, I know he got it. What was that experience like?
Yeah, they trusted me to get my work done, but every now and then I got that little pat on the back asking, "Oh, did you complete this? Did you complete that?" But other than that, it was a lot of trust.
Right. My niece, she graduated from Mount Pleasant High School. They had like a little parade there, and we were all there. The parents were there, family members were there. They were all cheering them on. So, Sophia, I don't know if you had like a type of ceremony for high school, being homeschooled. And Adriel, yesterday McKean High School did something creative. They did over the last 3 days did something creative. What was the experience? Although you didn't have that cap and gown, well, I guess you did have the cap and gown, but you didn't have that opportunity to walk the stage and get your diploma in your hand. What creative way did your schools do to celebrate the graduation? Okay, go ahead.
Sure. So for me, the homeschool program I attended, they did do something for us where it was really small. So like I said, graduation's been like postponed or canceled. It probably most likely won't happen, but they, when we went to pick up our cap and gowns, they gave us all signs that day and like played music as we walked in. So that was really great. And we got to take a picture with the 2020 banner. And then my parents decided to throw me a drive-by graduation celebration last Saturday. So that was great because I got to wear my cap and gown and a lot of friends and family got to see me in it. So that was fun. Like they did a whole parade and drove around the neighborhood and like I stood in front of my house and my mom hired a DJ on the front lawn. So it was tons of fun and I got to see like socially distance myself from people, but I got to see family and friends that I haven't seen in forever that I would have seen if graduation wasn't postponed. So that's kind of how I was able to celebrate.
Okay, Adriel?
Graduation for me was the movie production, as well as just sitting at home with my family, talking over the phone with distant relatives and just watching it live. The production was very great. I'm thankful that we were given that opportunity. It really looked much nicer than I ever thought possible.
Right. You know, when I was driving around in the community, I saw a bunch of signs, like lawn signs, like pictures of the high school graduates, Mount Pleasant, Concord, Brandywine. Did any of you two have like your picture and then a sign on the yard say graduation, graduate, high school graduate?
Yeah, the school, like the homeschool program, like I mentioned, when they did the little mini celebration, they gave us all signs. And then my mom ordered one for my brother and I since he recently graduated from college. So we have like all these signs on our front lawn of our faces, but it's nice.
Right. Did you have one, Adriel?
Yeah, I got it sitting out right in my garden right now.
Oh, okay. You still got it up. Right. So we're marking summer's going to start. Well, today was so hot, you know, but summer should be starting within the next couple of weeks. What are you two doing? I'm starting with Adriel. What are you two doing for the summer? Are you going to work or are you going to go to school early or take summer classes? What are your plans for the summer?
So far, I'm trying to study ahead for the classes to look forward to in the fall. Those are so far my plans.
Okay. And what about you, Sophia?
So I've worked at Rita's Water Ice for the past 2 summers. So that's where I'm back at working. I started work a few weeks ago. And then in a few weeks, I'll start up classes, summer classes. So that way I can knock out some college credits before I actually start college this fall.
Okay. Now, what colleges do you two want to go to? Let's start with Sophia. What college do you want to attend to, or what colleges are you looking into? And then do you know what area of field that you want to study?
Yes, so I will be attending American University this fall, which is located in Washington, D.C. I'll be majoring in international studies. Still trying to figure out my minor. I have like a couple different ideas. I'm all over the place with that, but I will be concentrating on peace, global security, and conflict resolution.
Oh, wow, that's major. Big time. Okay, Adriel, what you want to do?
I'll be attending Goldie Beacom College in Wilmington, Delaware as an accounting major this fall.
Okay, business school.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, that's right. Okay, so and do you foresee yourself owning your own business, or you want to work for a firm or local business?
Yeah, I look forward to hopefully operating my own firm in the future.
All right. All right. I want to talk about activities and community involvement. Sophia, I know that you've done some volunteer work in Kenya, and you got to talk about that. So let's start off with you. What type of community activities, community programs have you been involved with?
Yeah, so for me, a lot of my work stems from Kenya. That's where my nonprofit is based. I don't think I mentioned it yet, but I run an organization in Kenya. It's called Ngoma Kenya, and it's an arts-based organization where we work to bring the arts to underprivileged children over there. So right now, none of our like programming is running. We typically do dance and music and singing lessons and things like that. But with COVID-19 and the shutdowns happening over in Kenya, we're not having any classes running. So we recently launched a COVID-19 response to help feed families in the community over there. So that's really what's been, taking up most of my time outside of school and work. And then with community involvement here in the United States, I do a lot of work with local organizations. I like to work with kids that have special needs as well within my community. So that's where a lot of my focus stems. I like to work with children. So either that's in Kenya or here in the States. And I also have been getting involved recently with my local Black Lives Matter community here in Delaware and as well as Philadelphia, and just staying involved, organizing, working towards, helping the movement. So that's just, I do a lot of activism and advocacy work as well.
That's awesome. No. How did you come up with the idea of starting a nonprofit in Kenya? I mean, you're here in America, here in Delaware. How'd you do that?
So a local church that I used to attend the youth group, every year they would go on a mission trip to an orphanage in Mexico. And you had to be in high school. And so when I finally reached high school, I was like, oh my goodness, I finally get to go. But then they switched it and decided to go to London instead. And I didn't really feel like I wanted to go to London. I wanted to work with children. And so they announced a few weeks later that they were going to Kenya instead. And so I knew, I had to go on this trip because I was already sponsoring a little girl at the orphanage we would be visiting. So while I was at the orphanage that summer serving, I found out that the kids there love to dance and they love ballet like I do. I'm a dancer, I'm a performing artist. And so when I came home, I thought, how can I use my talent, this gifting of dance to come and bring a change internationally? And that's when my organization was birthed. And that's, kind of just how it got its start. And now it's turned into so much more with girls' rights advocacy, orphan care advocacy, and pushing for arts education for, underprivileged children in Kenya.
That's awesome. Okay, Adriel, so you did any school activities or any community involvement on your part?
Well, in terms of school activities, I was a theater kid, specifically part of the stage crew. And we would put on a little play at the end of every single year.
Oh, okay.
And this year's play was The Little Mermaid. But in terms of community involvement, I was a part of NHS and another National Honor Society, where we would schedule community events. In specific, every year we would hold Special Olympics for various special needs children in the elementary school grades held at my high school. And we would guide them around to the various sport activities we organized for them.
I want to give you two an opportunity to talk about people who influenced you in terms of your dreams and aspiration of being successful high school students in the future. Sophia, I know your parents, we go to the same church, and then I know your dad, Coach Steve. I know you're probably your daddy's girl. Or was that your baby sister? I don't know, but yeah, you have two awesome parents, and you have a sister and two brothers. So if you want to talk about who are the people, we're going to talk about your family in terms of the motivation and inspiration you get from them. Same with you, Adriel. I don't know if it's your parents, if you have any siblings, or if you have a mentor. So let's start with Sophia. Who are the people that really helped shape you to be the awesome young lady that you are today?
Yeah, for sure. Definitely my family. I mean, obviously they're my rock and my biggest supporters. So I love them so much. Really, my parents have just always supported what I've done, and I'm just really thankful for that. Outside of my family, I'm very, very thankful to have, really awesome mentors that have been in my life, have come into my life in very different ways, just very unexpectedly. Mr. Javi Diaz is one of my mentors. I love him so much. Kenita Benson, Chandra Pitts. Those are just three that I'm naming right off the bat, but those are have been, just big influences in my life. And I find that, they're involved with different community work. Some of them are involved with, orphan care work and working with marginalized children, abroad. But I think the common theme with people that are in my life and mentors that I look up to is just that working towards helping others and helping to create a change in our communities and around the world. And so I'm always trying to learn and grow from other people. So I love that I have people in my life who, are teaching me how to grow and teaching me how to learn and how I can give back. So I definitely have wonderful people in my life, and I'm so thankful for them.
Okay, Adria?
I have to say my family has also helped me along this journey my parents have most certainly guided me to push through it all, no matter what kind of hardships come my way, and no matter what kind of problems I'm facing every day, whether it's trying to open a pickle jar or trying to get a good grade.
Right.
And I have to say, I'm also inspired by my extended family who
Okay.
have been there in the tough times and have been looking out for me.
All right. And Adriana, I know you mentioned that you were working as a stage crew and in the arts and plays. Do you see yourself, possibly being in the theater world, being an actor or director or producer, or that's just behind you now?
It was more of a hobby that I'll probably end up carrying on in a few years.
Right, right. Okay, okay. Sophia, you're also a dancer, right? And you taught dancing in Kenya, right? If I'm
Yeah.
not mistaken. Yeah, you got to talk about
I
it.
know, I love that you were talking about that, Adriel, because I'm in theater as well. So I just love that we're fellow theater kids because I think that's awesome. My they just postponed their production of Narnia that we're doing this year. It's not happening till November, and I'm like, no, I'm gonna be in college, so I can't be in it. Um, but as far as dance, yeah, I've been dancing my entire life, basically the past 14 years. I started when I was 4 years old, and it's just something that I absolutely love to do. I'm a kinesthetic learner and I just love moving and I love tangible things, and dance is just one of those things that just makes me a better person, and it just inspires me so much and pushes me, and through that I've been able to just learn discipline and focus and so many things. So I like to take those principles and bring them to Kenya when I teach dance over in Kenya as well. And I just think being able to, use creativity through the arts, all of the arts, whether it's dance or music or painting or whatever, is just arts education is just so important. So I think that's why I'm so passionate about bringing arts education to Kenya and bringing the arts there. Um, so it's just like something that I absolutely love, something I've been involved with basically my entire life.
Okay. I want to ask you too. You two both, like, once again, you're both seniors. Well, actually, you graduated. So to the future seniors, juniors, sophomores, freshmen, any words of encouragement you two like to say to them? Adriel, you want to go first?
I was going to give it over to Sophia.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, Sophia.
Oh, yeah, I guess I can start. I think I don't want to be like super cliche or anything, but I just want to say, don't be afraid. It's okay. Fear I think it's a good thing. I think that we sometimes need that in our lives, because like if your dreams don't scare you, they aren't big enough. So you just have to not, like, if you are afraid, just continue to push past that fear. There's so many things in my life where I'm, out of my comfort zone and I'm nervous or I'm not confident about something, but I know that I need to push forward in order to become a better person and to create the change that I want to change. So I just want to put out there, just don't be afraid to follow your dreams, to make big dreams. Don't ever let anyone tell you that your dreams are too big. Just know that whatever you put your mind to, whatever you put hard work into, it will come true and it will happen for you. So you just got to continue to fight for what you want in life and what you plan to do in your future.
And I just want to note that both of you two, were you in honor classes for pretty much since the elementary school, or did it just come in junior high, high school, Adriel?
I've been in honors classes since middle school. Yeah, my elementary school did not have any honors.
Oh, okay, great. Yeah, okay, okay, Sophia.
I did honors classes junior year.
Okay, all right. So we have a minute left. So I'm gonna give you two opportunity to give any shout outs. Want to say hi to anybody? Any words of encouragement or just anything positive that you want to say? A minute each. So we can start with Sophia, then Adriel.
Yeah, like I just said, don't be afraid to fight for what you're passionate about. Try to find, one, what you're passionate about and using that to create a change in the world. That's what I'm all about, is using our talents and our gifts to help others. And it can be, like I did, I found that I love dance and that I can create a change in Kenya through dance. So it could really be anything. So just use what you're passionate about. The world needs you and it needs your voice. You're so unique. Everyone's so unique and bring so many special qualities into this world. So you have to get out there and share your passions to the world because it's so needed today.
Now, do you have an email, some type of contact or website that people want to donate to your Kenyan project?
Yeah, so my organization is Ngoma Kenya, which is Ngoma, and then Kenya, Kenya. So you can just go to ngomakenya.org. We're also on Facebook and we're also on Instagram, and that'll connect you to all my emails and my personal Instagrams as well.
Okay, Adriel, any closing comments?
I'd have to say, if you have a goal in life, which I'm pretty sure all of us do, no matter what path you have to take in order to reach that goal, no matter what hardships you have to go through in order to find and reach that goal, I know you can do it. We're all human beings. We can push through it. We can push through anything.
Okay, well, thank you both for coming on this evening, taking your time and opportunity to come on, and I wish you both the best of luck in your future endeavors.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good rest of the week.
Thanks.
All right, guys. That was wonderful, guys. Thanks. All right. Okay.